Hey everyone, Deanna Rubino here, and this is your top Microsoft and Windows stories of the week. All right, first up, the Xbox Maverick, also known by its official name as the Xbox One S All Digital Edition, which some clowns on the internet are calling the Xbox One Sad Edition. Well, that's not really true. It's the Xbox One SAID. Anyway, you get the point here. This is the first version of the Xbox that won't have a blue disk drive in it, which means you can't actually run games on it directly through physical media. Now, a lot of us, including myself and senior writer at Windows Central, Zach Bowden, have been asking for this for a long time, as it's going to cut down the price of the device and allow it to be sold to more regular consumers who aren't necessarily on board with going to stores to pick up physical games, instead want to download everything digitally. With Microsoft pushing xCloud in the next few months in its digital Game Pass, this version sounds like it makes a lot of sense. As to pricing and availability, while we hear April pre-orders will begin, pricing isn't yet set, but it probably will be cheaper than a typical Xbox One S, so there's that. Do you think it's a good idea? Let me know below. Speaking of the Xbox Maverick, will the actual consoles eventually go away from Microsoft? Probably not. Our senior games writer Jez Corden did an excellent top 5 reasons why Microsoft won't ever get out of the console business, including the fact, I'll just throw it out there, they're making a ton of money and they're actually competing pretty well against Sony. But more importantly, it's about their future, including xCloud streaming technology, which not only are powered by current Xbox One S devices, but will also be licensed out to other companies, including maybe even Sony themselves, who don't quite have the infrastructure that Microsoft does to compete at this level. Anyway, go check out Jez's article for his top 5 reasons why Microsoft will stick with the Xbox. All right, last week on this channel, we talked a little bit about Project Anaheim. That's Microsoft's shift to the Chromium web browser for Windows 10. And in fact, a few screenshots leaked out, and it looked a lot like, well, Chromium and not a lot like Edge. So the question to be asked naturally is, will this eventually look like Edge? And yes, Zach Bowden, our senior writer, did an article explaining how his sources have told him that yes, it will turn into an Edge-like experience in the coming months. Now, we do expect a preview version of this browser to be launched at Build for developers, but that'll be more about how the bits of the browser actually work and not so much cosmetic. This is going to take a few months, though, for Microsoft to reskin the browser to make it look like the current one that we already have. Now, having said that, all the features currently in Edge may not make it to this new one. We'll have to wait and see. It's going to be based on whether or not people are using those features. But things that people do like about Edge, including inking and smooth scrolling, will be making it to Project Anaheim, so that should be pretty exciting. Next up is Microsoft HoloLens and HoloLens 2. So in November 2018, Microsoft announced, with a bit of fanfare and also controversy, a new $450 million contract with the US government, specifically the US military, using HoloLens in military capacity. And let's just say it didn't go over so well with some of Microsoft's own employees who protested the decision. As to how this technology will actually be used, our own Jason Ward wrote an article explaining the history behind the project, specifically the Close Combat Lethality Task Force and its mission to use HoloLens on the battlefield, specifically the environments it's going to be used in and what its goals and purposes are. Now, this is a very controversial topic, and in this article, we don't actually express pro or con for this decision. Let's just say there's a lot of debate on that, and that's not the time or place for it. We'll do that at another time, but leave me a comment and tell me what you think about Microsoft's decision to continue working with the US government. Finally, Windows Core OS, or WCOS as you might have seen it abbreviated. Zach Bowden, our senior editor at Windows Central, did a really massive guide on it. It took him months to put together about everything we know about this. So if you have questions, go check it out. There's some screenshots there of Oasis, Aruba, and Santorini. If those terms don't mean anything to you, that's okay, as we explain them all. Aruba is going to be Surface Hub 2, Oasis is HoloLens 2, and Santorini will be for our laptops and 2-in-1s. As to the goals of Windows Core OS, well, it's for future computing systems, including Surface Hub 2 and that HoloLens system. And you've seen this before already in videos. If you look back at the Surface Hub 2 demonstration video, you'll see Windows Core OS, or at least what they're planning to have as Windows Core OS coming in 2020. Now, there's a lot of details here, including whether it's based on Win32, yes, technically, and whether it's actually going to run Win32 classic apps, yes, it will in some form. But this is going to be a really exciting project that Microsoft's going to be talking about, hopefully more at Build coming in May 2019. So fingers crossed. But for now, go check out that primer guide, and you'll learn everything you can about Windows Core OS and what's coming next. All right, so that does it for this episode of Week in Microsoft. Now, if you have any questions or comments, leave them below and go to our description as we link to all the articles that we talk about here if you want more information about them. Now, if you like this video, give us a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching. Take care, everyone.